Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, it is finally here, the 2023 BMW M2. This car is finished in Toronto red, and I have been very excited for this car, and I will 99.9% chance be buying one of these at some point. Not today, but I'm still going to talk about it because I'm very excited. I haven't actually driven it yet, so this is going to be my raw, unedited reaction to this car. 456 horsepower and just gobs of torque. You've got this really, really cool looking styling with a race style track setup for the brakes and the intercoolers, tons of extra intercoolers that aren't on the regular M240, which is already a phenomenal car and actually outperforms the outgoing 2016 non-competition BMW M2. So this car is going to be even better. They have already done some dyno runs on this thing, putting it over the 453 horsepower mark. It's actually making about 467 to the wheels. So I'm really excited to see how this thing goes. It's got a nice little burble from the S58 engine in the hood, and you've got this sick quad exhaust tips in all black, these really sharp looking taillights, and overall it's really cool. So what's cool about this one is it is a 2023, so that'll be the only year that you can actually get the 50-year M badges on it. But without further ado, well, hold on, let me show you the trunk because it's, oh darn it, let me show you the trunk real quick because it is actually very usable. You could daily one of these if you wanted to. Let's see here, bam, you can fit like 3 or 4 bodies in there. It's not too bad at all. But without any further ado, oh my goodness, let's go on a quick drive. So this car is a really cool spec. We've only got 3 miles of range, so we're gonna take this thing up to the gas station real quick. You've got the M highlight seats in here, so it's got the matches the doors. You've got the M colors on the back of the steering wheel and also on the headrest. Sorry, I got that mixed up. I'm just too excited right now. I can't even really control myself. And then you've got the M contrast on the door. And then since this one has the carbon fiber package, which is a $900 upgrade, you get these really beefy carbon fiber paddles, which just feel a lot more engaging whenever you're driving the vehicle. And it's so exciting. You've also got a wireless charger that you can use to start and stop the car just with your phone, so you don't have to worry about any kind of like carrying a key or anything like that. The technology is phenomenal. iDrive 8 with this beautiful 11.5-inch touchscreen, or 20, I can't remember how many inches. It's a lot. A couple Subway sandwiches, I might say. You've also got a full color touchscreen, and yeah, I'm excited. Let's just drive the freaking car, shall we? So we're starting off in just regular comfort mode. M cars have customizable drive mode settings, and since we're running so low on gas, we're just gonna do that we've got 3 miles till empty, but we're gonna just limp it up to the gas station, then we'll get on it a little bit once it has a chance to warm up. Very, very smooth. The seats are far more comfortable than I was really expecting. I honestly expected this car to kind of drive a little bit bumpier than it is. It's a lot more livable than the previous generation M2, which felt really small. It was a very raw and like powerful sports car, but God, was it freaking cool. All right, let's go ahead, throw it in park. I'll tell you a couple things about the transmission. So all BMW M cars actually have 3 different variation levels of the transmission. So you can step it up, bring it up and down depending on what you're going to be using it for. The 3rd level is going to be very sharp, and it's going to feel very percussive between your shifts. On the lowest level is basically like any other BMW. This uses the regular ZF 8-speed transmission out of the regular M340, but it's tuned to be a little bit more M friendly. While I'm filling this thing up, I want to check you guys out under the hood, so I'll meet you over there in just a second. So under the hood, as I was mentioning earlier, you've got this beautiful S58 engine. So the B58 already uses 4-inch internals with a whole bunch of different cool stuff. You know, this has a twin turbo setup as opposed to the B58 single turbo setup with sequential scrolls. So it does make it a little bit more punchy on the power, and you know, twin turbos always sound really cool, especially with an intake, some other cool stuff to it. But as you get a little bit closer, you can see covered in pollen are these extremely thick strut braces, which are going to really keep this car leveled throughout the corners, especially if you're going to be tracking it from time to time. You're not going to get that on an M240, and that's why you're paying, you know, the extra $15,000 or so in order to get the full-on M2 experience. I am so excited. You've got probably about 10 air-to-water intercoolers kind of mixed throughout the front of here. And against the regular M240, you've got wider grills here for more air intake. And then even the headlights are slightly bigger on this car as opposed to the regular M240. You also get these sculpted shoulders here, which expand the outside of the car. And as you go along the back, you've got this wide body style finish where the whole entire car just really has a stout road presence. The side fenders here, instead of being black like they are in the regular M240, are actually stanced out a little bit to further accentuate how wide the chassis is on this car. So compared to like the M3, M4, you've got the new style door handles that a lot of the iDrive 8 cars have, where they actually cup inside and very reminiscent of the 90s, but super duper cool, and this car is very well designed. All right, now that we're gassed up, this thing's gonna have full power available, 194 miles of range with about 93% of a full tank. As you can see here, you've got for upcoming service at 1,200 miles. All M cars actually required to be ran in for the first 1,200 miles or so, where they only have, you know, probably 80 to 85% of the power. So once you get past that first part, then you can start beating on it. So we're not gonna be able to do anything super cool today, but we're still gonna throw it into regular sport mode. And feel, as you heard, it gets a little bit rowdy. Sport Plus, you're gonna get a little bit more percussive. Sport opens up your exhaust. Sport Plus, you're gonna get that overrun with the pops and crackles and bangs and the cool stuff that happens with an M car. Chassis, you can actually, for the first time, actually change your braking performance on an M2. The previous generation, you couldn't change the brakes. You could only change, I believe, the steering and the engine setup. You couldn't modify the chassis or the brakes. That might have changed with adaptive suspension. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And you got the really cool G-Series traction control, where it can actually vary how much it allows the back end to spin out whenever you're going through corners and those sorts of things. We're gonna throw that into Sport Plus. We're not gonna do Sport brakes because that's excessive. But, and we'll probably do Sport for engine just to keep it from getting too rowdy. As this is just a demo car from BMW Cincinnati North. It is available for sale for $72,000. If you guys are interested, I will put a link to the car in the description below. Crack the windows so we can keep a little exhaust, but not too much where it's just too loud. Holy crap, dude. That was like a 60% throttle, and just the way that this sucker builds power. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, we're gonna beef the transmission up just a smidgen, just to give it a little bit of sprinkle, a little Salt Bay action, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, what a car. Whew. Man, I need to get me one of these. We get, so fun fact, as a BMW employee, we have access to center employee lease deals, and my car, I've had it for about 2.5 years, so we're getting the itch. In sport mode, not a terrible amount of drone. We're gonna drop it into Sport Plus just to get a little bit more overrun. Wow, this thing has the ability to turn in, and the way that the rear wheels engage as you're going through a corner is just really cool. It feels a lot more isolating than the previous generation, which is probably a good thing, as BMW, I think, is trying to go more towards that daily drivability. That's exactly what they did with the G-Series. The G-Series, I explained it as a butcher knife compared to a samurai sword. The samurai sword being the newer version, the F80 was definitely a butcher knife. Butcher knife is gonna hack and jab away at things, versus the samurai sword is gonna precisely cut. And I think that this kind of has that same recipe. It's not gonna be as raw, because you're moving away from that DCT transmission towards a more smooth ZF, and then also the way that this thing delivers power. Oh my God, this thing, I guarantee you, is so unbelievably fast. Whew. I am a little excited. And I also forgot to mention in the intro of this video, this car has a carbon fiber roof, which previously you could only get on the M2 CS. So the ability to actually finally get a carbon fiber roof on a non special edition M car, this isn't even a comp spec. This is the baby one. There's going to be one of these that's probably going to come out with about 25 to 30 more horsepower and a better tuned transmission, and like, oh my goodness. Listen to that cacophonous exhaust. That's not even an aggressive downshift. That's only like 2,800 to 3,200 RPMs. Like, oh my God. Whew. I need to, this car makes me want to make very bad financial decisions. The link in the description below for a second mortgage application. Fuck that. Oh my gosh, pardon my language. That cacophonous freaking downshift is just freaking gnarly. All right, transmission's a little bit weird, but it'll do. Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. So I'm gonna leave that here. If you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see more cool M2 stuff, be sure to check out my shorts page. There's gonna be a lot more short content on this car, and then you best believe whenever the competition edition comes out, there will be a video on it. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to smash that subscribe button, like the video, and comment down below what you thought about it. If you have any questions about it, I'm a BMW client advisor, so I would be more than happy to help you out, and I hopefully talk to you soon. Later, guys.